Thank you, Ed. My wife Wendy making sure everything is syncing up good. And Mike plays bass. I'm going to be putting together another board, all analog. Stand by for that. Oh man. Facebook and Wendy over on Twitch, making sure everything's working for me. Yeah, for now. We'll see what happens. It seems like when I switch cameras, I think I need more RAM. That might be the problem. John Ramsey, good evening. What's going on? Watching on Twitch instead of YouTube. Awesome. Thank you. Hanging out doing a little atmospheric stuff tonight. Hopefully Angelo shows up tonight. I'm using his favorite guitar. The Parker M&M is what he calls it. Has such a great tone. I love this guitar. I love all my guitars. But this one is very special. Because back in 2012, when we first started dating, Wendy decided to buy this for me. Thanks, Dwight. Angela's gonna be upset. Oh my God. I'll let Wendy answer that one. Thanks, Johnny. Yes, the Blue Parker. So Wendy bought me this guitar when we first started dating. Blue signature model, and in this color I think they only made 3, but I don't know which number I have because they kept terrible records at Parker, believe it or not. I think it was more like US Music actually didn't keep good records. Hello, Janice. I'm here, but going there. Awesome. Oh, that's so funny. Joy finally bought me a new Sire V5 bass after 26 years of marriage. Well, that's awesome. And of course, I don't mean to start any trouble, but my wife at the time was girlfriend, and she bought me this beautiful guitar right here that you're hearing and seeing. And I have to get it fixed, which I'm sure maybe some of you have noticed from the discoloration. There's a fret missing. The fret fell off because the way the Parkers are made, the frets are glued on. Maybe my buddy Terry from Parker will show up tonight and might be able to tell me what or how many of these were made officially. Pete Pinkle's in the house. Hello, Pete. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Nothing better in life companion than a total musical team player. Yes, that Wendy is for sure. On more some guitars occasionally. Yes. Well, come, brother. Welcome, Kadir. Thanks for being here. So what Janice means by that is I am broadcasting to 4 places. 2 personal, 2 Facebook pages. One is my music page and one is my personal page. And the other 2 spots are where all the action is and the much better audio and video. And that's Twitch TV and YouTube. So if you can, please go over to Twitch and sign up and get yourself a free account and follow me over there, because I don't think I'm going to be doing too much Facebook stuff in the future, but YouTube and Twitch I'm going to be focusing on greatly. Yes. You're making me blush. What does it sound like with no fret? Pretty terrible. It actually plays the same same note twice. So it's gonna really clash with this. I'll do it in a little bit. We'll just stick with this vibe for now. So, yeah, this guitar is full of tricks. It has the Sustainer, or what they call the Sustainiac. That's the company, Sustainiac. And look at that blue. Oh my god, it's so cool. It's just pretty awesome. There's no other explanation for this thing. And this fantastic no heel, just a perfect, almost exact same size as the first fret area up by 22. Incredible workmanship on these Parkers. But yeah, let's see. I think I missed some people. If I did, I apologize. Sorry. I think Amy Lynn is here. There she is. I didn't see you before. Sorry. Coupons are good. Okay. Coupons are good. Especially when they're at Guitar Center. Maybe not so much Guitar Center. I'm not a really fan. They serve their purpose, but not my first choice of shopping, so I'm not going to give them kudos and, oh, I see. You guys were having a conversation about the Crocs not showing up. Oh, my God. Mike, you were hilarious. And now we're off onto that. Yes, that was pretty annoying for Wendy today. Quite annoying. Let's see. Archie is here. Hello. Hi, Mr. Rockin' Like Crazy Vince G. Wendy, are you going to sing this evening? No, we have to work that out yet. There's some things that have to be figured out before we do that. And it really has nothing to do with singing or playing. But yeah, we'll see. It all depends. It all depends. Let's see. Where are we? Okay, so first I want to get back to addressing Johnny and his question about how does it sound without the fret. Pretty terrible. So what happens is, I think I knocked it out of tune. Because I haven't really played this guitar because it's missing a fret. But the G just sounds out. Let's see. Oh, it was the B. And the G. Does that sound like a band? B, G, B, B, G. We'll give them a good stretch. So these have 8s on them too. And this guitar plays insanely good. And actually, it's got the highest action out of all my Parkers. And that's because of the fret issue. I tried to get away with raising the action to try and get around that bad fret. But no matter how you slice it, the fret's missing. And this is what happens when there's no fret. So you're coming up here and you're expecting things to go in order, you know? It just dies. But it's actually playing the fret 2 frets higher. So that's the same note. And then we're back to normal. And that happens on every string. So pretty much just about every key there is uses one of those, this fret. Ooh, I got some note out of that. No, that was just complete luck. So that's it. It needs to be glued back on, in which I tried to do that, and the top of the glue that somebody let me borrow, I don't want to name anybody, they were trying to help me out, and it wasn't Matt. So if you're watching this, it wasn't you. And not Matt, our buddy who's usually on Twitch. Another Matt. But it wasn't him. Somebody else let me borrow some glue, and the top was cut too big. And when I went to dab it, it just dripped down, and it got on the body. And this stuff dries so quick, I couldn't even clean it. So, of course, I was flipping out. So that was it. I was done. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to try and fix the guitar. And, of course, it dripped. And when I pulled the bottle away, somehow I got a dab on the back of the neck so I could feel it. But I was lucky to get that completely off. Like, there's no speed bump. It's just actually a little weird. So I have to take it to my buddy Patrick up in upstate New York, who is the luthier and designer of Brian Moore Guitars. If anybody's ever heard of Brian Moore Guitars. And I really need to get up there and get this guitar fixed properly. And I have a couple of ideas that I want to see if he can achieve and accomplish for me as far as these pickups go here. I hate this bridge design. These are very fragile. I don't know if you can see it. But those gold pieces are the piezo. And they're two parts. The part that the string sits on comes off of the actual saddle. So when you restring it, it's such an angle that my trick with the screwdriver pokes at these and sometimes pops them off. And once that pops off enough times, there's a little tiny wire under there. And if that snaps off completely, then I have no piezo. And I can't do the guitar synth, nothing. So they have these new ones. They're called Ghost bridge saddles. And he put them on my other Parker. So I need him to do that on here. And fix up my glue issue. Get the fret back on. And get this thing playing to 210% awesomeness again. Let's see, we had some people jump in. Tim Thomas, hello. Thanks for being here. Awesome. Janice says Sam Ash. Sam Ash is awesome. I shopped there ever since I was a little kid. So I know a lot of the people that worked there over the years and still do. One of my former students who still says and calls me his teacher when he introduces me to fellow co-workers. He works there. So that's definitely one of my number one choices for sure. And I don't want to make it an ad for these businesses, of course, my show, you know. But yes, Sam Ash and my other top choice is Sweetwater. Have a friend who works there too. So let's see who else jumped in. Where are we here? Archie. Let's see. I believe Sustainiacs came on some Schecters also. Yes. Yep. I think at first Schecter was kind of like the guitar that had them. And then, of course, there was the Fernandez Sustainer, which I don't know which company came first. I should research that. But I have both. I have the Fernandez Sustainer on another Parker from early 90s or late 80s. I can't remember. Nah, it's going to be late 90s, actually. I'll correct myself there. That's wrong. And the Fernandez Sustainer is great, but I like the tone of this one better. I don't know. It's something about it. So the Sustainiac has been my my preferred choice of sustain type tools. Hey, Vanessa, my sister. Hello, Vanessa. What's up? I do, yes. Isn't it a great color? Vanessa loves the color. Look at the back of this thing. And it made it to all the merch. Oop, wrong way. There it is. So it's definitely my favorite. I got to get this guitar back into gear because just playing it for the few minutes that I had with it now, I totally miss it. And that fret just messes everything up. Dwight, I got 2 Brian Moore guitars. Nice. Which ones do you have? Do you have the 24 fret model? I can't remember the name of it, but he's awesome, man. Patrick is just great, and he's got stories of different musicians and working with some really top producers. I mean, the guy is just, he's a blast. I got to cut a whole day out when I go visit him because we wind up talking really for like 8 hours. He gets nothing done. The last time I went up there, it was like a whole day, literally, and he's great. So I recommend him to anybody who needs guitar repairs. He takes, deliveries, so you can work it out with him and get your guitar FedExed or UPS or whatever you want to do, and insure it and the whole bit. But he does repairs for people all over the country, possibly all over the world. But I definitely know he does service the U.S. quite a bit. Let's see. All right, so just to update everybody that may have stopped in that hasn't been here in a while, I'm working on getting things moved to Twitch and YouTube. Twitch TV/Vince Janella. Please sign up. It's free. The audio and video quality is way better over there, and especially on Twitch, I can make some money by you just being there. So, and especially if you have Amazon Prime, then if you subscribe to me, it won't cost you anything because you have a Prime membership, and then I will make money off of your subscription for no cost to you. So it's really cool. A bunch of people already signed up over there and did it, and I appreciate everybody who did, and I appreciate all the I don't know what they're called. I think they're called bits, which is really wild. I think 100 bits equals $1, and you could just give bits. It's pretty wild. Twitch is a gaming platform, mostly for gamers, but oh, and cheers. That's right. That's the other thing. Cheers. So bits and cheers. Wendy says cheers. And it's not because we're going to have a sip of coffee. But yes, Twitch has some really cool things, and they are definitely favoring creatives and musician types. So there's a lot of awesome. Today I wound up taking a break and watching this guy stream acoustic. I can't remember his name. He was great. And I don't know, like a whole hour went by. I had him on the TV, and I'm like, I gotta go. Like, I got stuff to do. I have to teach soon, and I gotta hang up and stop watching this dude. He was great. So yeah, they have talk shows, kind of like what I'm doing here, and performance, which I'm gonna play. But since it's Guitar Month, International Guitar Month, we're sticking with this format right now, which is we hang, we talk, and have a good time, and people ask questions. So if you have questions, do not hesitate. Pop them in the chat. If I miss it, Wendy usually catches it, so that's cool. And I'm just making sure everything's looking all good over here. Cool. Yeah, look at that. Everybody is working the way it's supposed to. Yeah. So April is International Guitar Month. It's been in place since 1987. A lot of people don't even know it exists, but I just figured I haven't streamed since October, and I figured, you know what? Why not come back strong during April? Because April is Guitar Month, and we'll just get back to it. So here we are. I've been streaming every night. This is day 17 in a row. I can't give you an exact time, like I'll be live every night at 9:30 kind of thing, because the schedule's all over the place. But, with lessons and other things going on, it's mostly at night. There's a couple of days where I came on at 4 o'clock, and that may happen again toward the end of the week, but we'll see. It's all random right now. And then in May, I'm probably going to stop the Facebook stuff, and that will just be broadcasting to YouTube and to Twitch TV. So hopefully you guys and gals will come over there and make an account. Again, it's free to join up, and you don't have to do that stuff with the Prime account if you don't want to. It's not a big deal, but if you have it, cool, and it just helps me out. It doesn't cost you a dime. All right, because you already have Prime. Hey, that rhymed. I'll have to write that down, make it like a little slogan. Join my Twitch. Sign up with Prime. It doesn't cost you a dime. All right. Let's see. Let me grab a tune. All right, I think we're going to do a little Santana again. I love that guy. But a different song that I haven't played in a while. And of course I need the fret. So we're going to shut the guitar off. And let's see, does this make noise? Awesome. Okay. And we're going to grab my other favorite. Everybody's been seeing me play this one this week a lot. Oops, let's turn that down. Quiet. We don't need the sustained angels right now. However, we do need a guitar strap. Alright, so Dwight answered and said, let's see here, hang on. What did you get? Which one? Which Brian Moore? I got one. Yeah, I got one is the Saturn model. Got the Saturn and the moon's on the front. Oh, nice. Cool. Has the acoustic pickup in it. Yeah, so I have one Brian Moore, and that one is painted as, what was it? What did he call it? The chameleon. So when you tilted it, it went like purple, green, and something else. It's really wild looking. But it doesn't have 24 frets. That's the only thing I don't like about it. And it has the piezo, which is awesome. But the guitar plays amazing. And then what else? Wendy's throwing up some emoji things over there on the Twitch channel. And then I got one that is regular fretboard. Blue. Got trim on it. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, Dwight has some cool guitars. Alright, so let's see. So far, it looks like the audio's working. Everything's being cooperative tonight. Except Vince forgot to turn on the guitar. There we go. Alright, so let's see how this goes. I haven't played this song in forever. Little Santana. Little classic tune here. Let me kill the mic so you guys get the better audio, and off we go. Audio off. All right, that was fun. Little Santana. Wow, you go away for a few minutes, yes, and then the party gets started. Uh-oh. Fire it up, man. Thank you. Yes, I did. It was fun there at the end. Guitar change. Yes. Dwight. Hey, Mom's on tonight. Hello, Mom. Mom says, great, love it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Surfer Boy, good evening from Boston. Good evening from New Jersey. Awesome. Good to see everybody hanging out. Coffee break, hold on. Let's see. Oh, we got some new people. Or person, actually. A new person. So, let's see. Sounds awesome, Vince. Thank you. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Thank you, Surfer Boy. Thank you so much. Whoops. Hold on. Watch out. Watch out. There we go. Great job, Vince. Hello, Wendy. Hope all is awesome with you both. Hey, Doug. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you guys are doing good. You and Joni. Hope all is well on your end. Yeah, you know. Living life. It's all good. All good in the hood. All right. Dwight's saying hello, 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 hello. All right, cool. Let's see. So I don't know if Wendy was addressing that I had a guitar change or if she's saying change guitars again, because I know I've been playing this a lot since I restrung it. It's like, oh my God, it's like a whole new guitar. So I've been playing this guitar a lot, and I've been enjoying myself on it. But I know some people were asking about the Les Paul last night. I believe that was Bob. I don't know if Bob's on tonight. Maybe we'll save that if he comes back. We'll grab the Les Paul for Bob. Are you here, Bob? There's a lot of people that are here but not chatting. So, you know, say hi. Don't be shy. People are super friendly. You know, the community is awesome that I have acquired here on the different platforms. So say hi. I'll pop your comment up, and other people on the other platforms will see it. If you're new and hanging around, like Doug or anybody else who just dropped in and did not say hi, I'm going to be focusing on Twitch TV and the YouTube channel more so than Facebook. I'll probably put up announcements that I'm going to go live, but I'm not going to stream to Facebook and, you know, my Facebook personal and my Facebook music page that much anymore. So come on over to Twitch TV, check it out. It's really fun. It's kind of a gamified version of what we're doing on the other platforms. You could get more involved. It's pretty cool. Eventually I'm going to work out different levels and tiers, and you know, you build up points the more you chat over there, and then I might give some things away, like a free lesson or some strings that I use, my favorite company, DR Strings, or some picks. So yeah, but all of that's going to be, you know, down the road once I get some more followers over on Twitch. But if you get in on Twitch, that would be awesome. Nice. I like that. I might use that one too. If you get the itch, join Vince's Twitch. Yeah, I had one before, which was fun too. So we'll have to incorporate a couple of these. Oh yes. Let's see. Wendy says no. You had a guitar change, but you only have to showcase the other guitars. It's Guitar Month, not Parker Month. Yes, true. All right, so let's see. You know what I'll do? I'm gonna pull out the Eddie Van Halen Frankenstrat, because it's been like calling to me. And that's sitting right over there. I like it. Ruffalo 9. Thumbs up for the lurkers. Let's give them an air horn. uh, I love those effects. They're hilarious. All right, so give me 2 seconds to grab the other guitar. I have to make a cable change as well because that guitar does not have this fancy sustain thing with the guitar synth. And I don't know if that guitar has strap locks on it yet, so we might have to dig out a strap real quick. I will be right back, people. Don't go away. All right, we are here. And I found a standby strap. Little strap I picked up when I was at the Steve Vai Academy. This is a strap that Joe Satriani made. He was one of the guests at Vai Academy. And let's see. Let's see if this guitar is in tune. So we'll talk a little bit about this. Of course, Van Halen I would say is, even though he's not with us anymore, a huge influence of mine. And it's a shame he's not with us anymore, but close enough for rock and roll. So the intent was when he passed away, I called up my student Mike over at Sam Ash, and I said, hey, you got any Frankenstrats in stock? You know, Eddie just passed away. I want to buy one before they go through the roof. And he said, yeah, we have 2 in the chain. And as he was ringing me up, they sold, both of them. So that was the end of that. So I guess 2 other people got the same idea at the same time. And then what wound up happening was he said, well, yes, the king, King Edward. Absolutely. So he said to me, well, I have that white one right there. It's staring at me. And he said, I'll put it aside for you if you want it. So I went down to Sam Ash and grabbed... No, actually, did I go down there or did he ship it to me? I can't remember. Nope, I went and grabbed that guitar. That's right. So I went down to Sam Ash, picked it up. Thing played amazing. And he put me on the waiting list to get this. And it took about a year because this was full-blown pandemic and nobody had any kind of products available. And then we had the whole shipping accident where that boat got stuck sideways and blocked the canal. Does anybody remember that? So, like, all the stuff was just back-ordered and parts, and it was a disaster. So it took a year to get this thing, which I'm not sure why that had anything to do with anything, probably because of the electronics, but these are assembled in Mexico, and they're beautiful. I mean, it plays unbelievably well. still stays in tune. Beat the crap out of it, and the thing is awesome. It stays in tune. It's great. I remember that canal fiasco. Yeah, it wasn't weird, but it affected everything. So, like, if this guitar was waiting for, a toggle switch or a knob from Taiwan or something, it was like, forget it. So anyhow, it took a year to get, and another friend of mine ordered one as well. And what wound up happening was mine came in first, and he ordered his after me, I think, or the same week, I don't remember. But either way, so what wound up happening is this one came in a lot earlier than I had expected, and I didn't have the money. And I told Mike, I said, well, do you still have the one for my friend Anthony coming in? And he said, yeah, why? And I said, well, I'm going to let Anthony buy mine, and I'll take his when it comes in, because I'm not ready. So it was cool. So Anthony was super happy. He got his Van Halen guitar months ahead of time, and then I waited the full year to get mine. Still plays amazing, and we compared them, and they're almost exactly the same. This one actually has, if you can see it, a carved V in it. I don't think his has this one. So it was kind of like, one of those things, like it was meant for me. It has a V cut out in it. Pretty wild. But I just remember as a kid, I used to sit and listen to all the Van Halen albums, and I had this old turntable that my grandfather pulled out of one of those giant stereo furniture type systems. It had the TV, it had the giant speakers, and then you would open the lid, and there was a what he referred to as a Victrola in there. So at one point, the thing was just dying out. It was all run on tubes back then. I think it was Zenith, might have been. So they wound up trashing that whole thing, but he kept the turntable. And it was in the attic. And one day I was talking about how fast Eddie plays, and he goes, "Oh, well, if we get that old Victrola out of the attic, I'll hook it up with I'll connect a speaker cable to it or a headphone jack, and you can listen to it through headphones and slow it down." So I was like, wow, okay, because it has 78 speed. So that's what we wound up doing, was he rigged up this turntable. I went to Radio Shack and picked up a little turntable preamp, and we took the output of the of this, what he hooked up, an output, and then put it into this preamp, and I was able to amplify this turntable that went down to 78 speed. But then I took it one further. I was like, oh, I don't want to scratch my album. So I took that output and put it into a boom box that I had, those 80s big giant boom boxes. I still have it in the back. It works great. And I took the boom box and I plugged the headphone jack that he made in stereo into this thing, and I recorded the 78 speed of like every Van Halen tune, every Randy Rhoads Ozzy tune. And, I was just totally into it. So I was figuring out all this stuff, by Eddie. So I spent hours figuring all of that stuff out. It was so much fun. I learned so much from Eddie. But one of the cool things about figuring that stuff out was it really just, you know, it really just works your ear out so great. So it was just a lot of fun working out those tunes, and my grandfather hooking me up with that record player really, like, that was a game changer. Total game changer for me. Really, like, that was awesome. What else was I going to say as I was playing that I thought of something? Okay, so two things. So, Sunset Studios in California has their own YouTube channel, and they've been doing interviews with a lot of the people who either were the gophers getting the band's coffee and beer, or assistant engineers, or the engineers. And one of the big things was an interview with one of the engineers who worked on, actually I think it was like 4 of the engineers who worked on the Van Halen 1 album. And, excuse me. Okay, so what wound up happening is they found the actual tapes of Van Halen 1, and it's all on this interview. It's really awesome. And what you wind up hearing and figuring out is they said everybody thinks that Eddie punched in Eruption after that break, and then he comes firing back with that other part when it goes deep dive, and then it goes into that part, which I just blew it, but I got it right before. But that part, when it gets quiet in the middle, he didn't punch it in. They stopped it because he stopped for a second, and all you heard was this. So they just faded it down because they didn't want the noise. So they just pushed play and let it go, and you heard that he played it, stopped for a second, and started again. And literally all they did was dip the fader and bring it back up. And so Eruption was a one-take thing, and that was just Eddie screwing around in the studio. They didn't even want him, he didn't even want to record it because they heard him noodling around, and they go back in there and do that again. He was like, do what? I was just warming up. They're like, just do it. Go back in and just play. And something like what you did. And he was like, all right. And he went back in and he just blew that out. Boom, done. Which is ridiculous. Because that, whatever it is, 2 minutes, like, changed guitar playing forever. Which is amazing. What was the other thing I was going to say also about that album? I think everything on the album except for Running with the Devil and Ain't Talking About Love was also had no overdubs as far as guitar goes. So what do I mean by that? So I think it was Gene Simmons was helping produce them at one point, and he wanted rhythm guitar because he was used to that with Paul and Ace. So he wanted rhythm guitar under all the guitar solos. And Eddie was like, I've been playing this live with no rhythm guitar for years, and why do I want to put rhythm guitar on the album when I am not going to play that live? Like, it's not going to be there. So they insisted, and there's rhythm guitar on Running with the Devil, and it's really just like a big chord. And that's over this part. And that's because this part outlines an A. And this part outlines a G. Back and forth, and then the last chord, I think it ends on E. When he goes, hold on. And then it goes back to... So yeah, so a lot of people don't realize that. And then none of the other songs have rhythm guitar except for Ain't Talking About Love. Let's get the sound right. So the solo in that, has, what were those chords? I don't remember. I don't think they're the same chords. I don't remember. But again, those are the only 2 songs on the album that have rhythm guitar. And then Eddie was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. Done. Sorry. Let's see. I missed a whole bunch of stuff. People are talking, and I'm talking, and I'm missing everything. Oh, thank you. All right. So that was, thank you, Johnny. Let's see. Doug. What's Doug have to say? Where'd it go? There we go. Whoops. No, we don't go. Try that again. If you want to wire the neck pickup in Adam Rivera at FU Tones has a pushback. Push pot, sorry, okay. Yeah, I was thinking of that, but you know what? Nah, I'm going to just keep it the way it was because Eddie didn't use this pickup. And I know some guys were wiring it to get advantage to use it. And then you could put the push pot here, so that way you could switch between the 2 pickups. But I'm gonna just leave it the way it was. I have my my quarter here. Where is it? Where is it? Are you here still? No, I moved it so I wouldn't lose it. Imagine that. I moved it so I wouldn't lose it, and it's not where I thought it was. So I'm gonna have to find that all over again. Oh, it's on the other side, and that's hard to get to. But Eddie drilled a quarter into here, which was probably at one point to keep the bar in a certain spot so he could detune and do the drop D for Unchained, which I don't know if I got this in tune right, so let's see if it works. Imagine that. It's in. Okay, or it's close enough. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. If I can remember it. There we go. Let's try it. I can't remember. There it is. I can't remember it. I haven't played this stuff in like forever, but it's awfully fun. And this trick here, it's called a detuner, and Eddie invented this. So they put it on the guitar, even though his Frankenstrat did not have a detuner. But the cool thing about it is you get it set up right, and you can drop your detune, your E, to tune it to D. And I'll tell you what, getting the coordination to hit this flanger on in between the chords is not easy. And another fun fact about that song, when he starts it by himself, there's 5 opens and not 4. And then when the band comes in, it's like an anticipated jump, so they kind of jump on top of the beat beforehand, which is really cool. It's coming out of this. So it's a little kick. It's really cool. Gotta love those old tunes, man. Van Halen, really awesome. We had one of those furniture stereo things in our living room. It was big and clunky, but kind of cool. Yeah, that was all like the old school stuff. Awesome playing, Vince. Thank you. Wow, you should take over. My God, no. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. You're fast, my friend. No tangled fingers. Thank you. Doug, give him the thumbs up in the arm. Yes. Thank you, Dwight. Learning songs, listening to vinyl does train your ears. Yes, it was probably the best thing I could have done for myself back in the day. Did you ever get to jam with Eddie? No, but I got to meet him, which was pretty amazing. I got to meet him, and he was such a nice guy. So I was fortunate enough to have, well, I should say I am fortunate enough to have awesome students who really treat me right. And this one guy in particular calls me up kind of late on a Tuesday, or was it Monday? I think it was Monday. It doesn't matter. Calls me up later at night. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" I'm like, "Well, I teach." "Why? What's up?" He goes, "You might not want to teach tomorrow." He said, "Can you be at, this location, parking lot at like 8 or 7 in the morning?" I'm like, "Yeah, why? What's up?" "I have an extra ticket to go see Edward Van Halen." No, actually, he said to go see Van Halen. That's the way he worded it. At the Smithsonian Institute. And I'm like, the band is playing at the Smithsonian? He's like, no, it's just Edward by himself. And he's going to talk about what it means to be an American. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm canceling everything. I'll be there. So I wound up canceling all my lessons, and he and I drove out to Washington, my student Mike, and we drove out there. Took like 5 or 6 hours. We got there just before it started, about, I don't even know what time. I think it started at 4. We got there about 2:30, grabbed some lunch, and went. And I don't even know how many people were in the room. I would say if there was 200, that would be a lot. It was probably under or around about 100. And Eddie came on stage, and he talked about his whole life from day one that he could remember. The Van Halens coming over from Denmark, Holland, and how they were broke, and basically his dad paid for the trip for the family by agreeing to perform for free for the guests on the ship. And they gave them like a crappy room on the boat, and they wheeled his piano onto the boat. They left their home with $20 and nothing except that piano, and came to America. And it is an amazing story. I mean, that guy earned every penny. He deserved everything that he got, because they came over here and they were basically treated like second-class citizens because they didn't speak English. He got picked on. Just really amazing story. So go check it out if you didn't know that about Edward and you didn't see it. Just type in Smithsonian, Edward Van Halen Smithsonian in Google, and you'll see it. Really awesome interview. And then he played. He talked about how he discovered tapping because he went to see Led Zeppelin, because there was, I mean, there was no YouTube when I was growing up. There was definitely nothing when he was. And he went to see Led Zeppelin, and he saw Jimmy Page do this. And he was like, wow, what if I do that with more strings and faster? And of course, he blows into all kinds of stuff, which is amazing. But the interview is really cool, so go check it out. It's probably one of the best things on the internet. Seriously. Let's see. This is probably first takes are the best. Yeah, going back to talking about Van Halen, all cut live. Yep, every single thing. I think they said that there was only 1 or 2 songs that were 2 takes. Everything on Van Halen 1 was a 1 take. We're done. They overdubbed backing vocals, and then that was it. But yeah, all the music. Never knew that, but yes, I can hear it in my head. Oh, the chords for the tunes. Yes, yep. Eddie was a great rhythm player. People focus on his solos, but he weaved everything together the way that worked. Yes. There are just a few tunes that I will not even touch live. I'll work on them and mess around with them here. But, like I'm the One. See, Van Halen has this, what I call the Edward bounce. I don't know if anybody else has ever said that, but he's got this wrist that just bounces. It's just incredible. So it's just super bluesy and super like guitar boogie style ripping, and it's really hard to duplicate. It's not easy. His rhythm stuff is a lot harder than people think, because him and Alex would jam for hours, and he got super tight with the rhythm. He also loved flamenco guitar, so that was another reason why his rhythm playing was so ridiculous. Coffee. All right, let's see. Absolutely true. I guess that's probably something that I missed. It wasn't meant for me. Ken, hello, Ken. Thanks for being here, Ken. And you hit the ground running. That's right, Unchained, baby. Yeah, great stuff. Those albums are just ridiculous. The other night while I was streaming, one of my, I can't say former drummer, he just moved away. We still want to work together, but my buddy Mike Dawson, he texted me during the live stream, and he wrote, dude, I just listened to Fair Warning for the first time in like 10 years, and it just doesn't get old. He's like, oh my God, it was so great. And he like gave me this big paragraph just out of the blue. It's hilarious. Let's see. Highly recommended. Yes. Brett Kingsman, King Edward, Axe Effects patch. That's cool. I don't really get into getting other people's patches because live, I feel like if I'm going to switch patches to sound like a song, then the front of house guy isn't going to be too thrilled with the EQ changing so much. And it's not so much the level, but it's the way the guitar sounds when you go for like a Randy Rhoads tone or an Eddie Van Halen tone, and then you go to like a Queen tone or Bad Company. So what I find is I just have my sound and I play the songs, and I don't change presets. I just basically use what am I using these days? I'm using the Fractal Audio System, the FAS Modern 3. And it's a great amp. It's real versatile. And everything you're hearing is that amp. And then check this out. Like, basically what I'm doing is, this is my rhythm preset. Actually, let's go to a lead scene. Let's even do a one better. So now, this is my lead scene, and it's insane. And there's a lot of gain. Now, if I turn that back up, it's going to be blaring. But I have this cool pedal on the floor, and if I swap it down a bit to the middle, and I lower my volume on the guitar just a tiny bit, I'll lower it even more, and then I'll lower the guitar, and it's almost clean. Whoops, it's too low. And then I can just go. So that's how I work my whole night. So basically, I just kind of have one preset. I've got all my effects that I need for different, band needs. And the only time I get crazy with like presets and changing is when I play my own stuff, because all the delays are in time with the speed of the song. So most of my sounds are the same amp, same effects, maybe some variations here and there, but mostly because I use different delay times. So I just have them all pre-programmed per song in different presets, and then that way it's just boom, preset whatever I have, for my tune Funk Me Silly, the delay is at 122, I think. WMD is at a different tempo. That's a little more of a slower, meaner groove kind of thing. So that's how I work the Axe-Fx, and that's kind of my experience of making it work the best it can in a live situation. Because when you change amps, and you're live and you're changing amps, I mean, you don't do that in reality up until you had an Axe-Fx. You had whatever amp you had. You had a Marshall, you had a Mesa Boogie, you had whatever you brought, and that was the amp. Fender Twin, and then everything in front of the amp changed, distortion, wah, whatever you're using, but the amp never changed. So I just treat the Axe-Fx the same way. One amp, the whole gig, and do what I just showed you there. I think it just makes more sense to treat it like a real thing. Let's see. Archie, you was at that. I saw the recording of that. Yes, I was at that. I got to hang out with Eddie, shake his hand, tell him thank you for all the years of inspiration, and he was super nice. We chatted for a few minutes, and then we were off because we had to get back to New Jersey because my student has, he had a real job. And he planned that day to take off, but not the next day. So, not like I don't have a real job. I just have different hours. And because I'm self-employed, I could reschedule if I wanted to. And that's another great thing. So, that I'm thankful about. I was able to attend that without hesitation. He called me up and he said, want to go to see Van Halen at the Smithsonian? And actually just the other day, his son took him for a Christmas gift. That he finally was able to, let's say, cash in on or whatever, go to. So him and his son went, and he sent me a text, and he's like, here's where we hung out with Eddie. It was so cool. But yeah, I was at that recording, and it is totally awesome. I call his fret hand, I call it his fret hand roll. Yeah, he just had this bounce, man. It was ridiculous. Ken, there he is. Happy to be here. Very cool. Thank you. Let's see. Is the sound coming from the power engines? No, you're getting DI, direct input. And that's what I'm listening to as well. Those guys are off right now. Because I'm not over there. So when I play over there, when I used to do my Monday Night Lives, I would have those on just for a little more live feel, but still, that's not what you guys were hearing. You guys hear a direct sound, which I'll give you that. You'll hear the difference when I shut off the room mic. And this was the problem I was having the other night. The computer lost the fractal audio, and it wasn't because of the Axe-Fx, it's because of this other thing I'm using called Loopback. And I think the problem, honestly, is I need more RAM for my computer. I'm not even going to tell you how much RAM I'm using right now because you'll be like, of course that's why. I feel like I should know better. Let's put it that way. With all the streaming I'm doing and all the apps that are open, I'm lucky my computer isn't on fire. But here, check out the audio difference. So here's, we'll just do this. So here's, with this on, you're getting the room and the guitar at the same time. There we go. I'll do the same thing with this off now. So you should, if you had headphones on, maybe not even, if it was up loud enough in the room on your phone, you should have heard a difference between that room mic being off and the direct sound. So everything you guys hear, I'm hearing the same way. And honestly, I could never go back to playing real amps and tube amps ever, because I can go anywhere, literally anywhere, like in the world, and take my FM3 and get the same sounds I'm getting out of the Axe-Fx 3 and not need an amp. I could plug it right into whatever is there at whatever gig I'm going to. So it's just really incredible. So, you know, a lot of people argue about, oh, well, it's a lot of money, and it's really not a lot of money when you think about what it's doing and how much money you spend on pedals. I mean, any good pedals these days are a couple $100, you know, so you buy 10 pedals and you're really right up there in Axe-Fx territory anyway. Then you're just not buying pedals. You got to buy quality cable. You got to buy a pedal board to glue them to, or, you know, Velcro them to. You know, it turns into a lot of money. I have a little gig bag that I pop my FC12 in, or I have a hard case that I use for gigs. So, you know, but anyway, back to Edward and my my love of his playing when I was a kid, and you know, it really just, you know, helped form the way I play. Him and Randy Rhoads were the two, you know, and I learned a lot from listening to interviews with Edward. I found on a cassette that I recorded from, I believe, 1027, like at 1 or 2 in the morning, they had Edward Van Halen on, and I have this interview. I don't even know if it's actually out on YouTube or anywhere. But I have this interview of him talking about how, and that's actually how I got the idea solidified with my grandfather, was Edward talked about taking old Cream and Eric Clapton albums and slowing them down. And then just by chance, I guess I was talking about that interview, and my grandfather said, you know, we got one of those in the attic. It has 78 speed, and I can, you know, help with that. So I was like, that's awesome. So I wound up doing that, and it worked. I mean, I would probably drove my parents crazy because not only did it slow it down, but it's an octave lower. So everything sounded like, you know, and like if there was singing, it was even worse because it was like, you know, it was an octave lower, so it just sounded ridiculous. But I would figure out, you know, everything that way. Every single thing I learned was from using that Victrola. I don't remember it. Oh, that stuff is so much fun. Um, let's see. Let's see. I left off at the power engines. Okay, so. Oh, I like that. Oh, my little trick with the volume pedal. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's a great thing. Nice sounds. Thank you, Ken. So yeah, if anybody's just jumping on here, I know there's a lot more people on than are chatting. Please say hi. There's about 25 people across all platforms. For the folks over on Facebook and Facebook, the two Facebook channels, I'm going to be most likely not streaming to those two much longer. Definitely come May, I'm probably not going to at all. So please sign up for a free Twitch account, Twitch TV/Vince Janella. Come over there. The party is happening. And same with YouTube. YouTube/Vince Janella would be awesome. And also, this month, Vince's Lessons. I'm never going to get this. See, there we go again, wrong way. Let's try that. Over there, vinceslessons.com. I'm doing a special for $1 a minute, 45 minutes for $45. And if you sign up before the end of the month, you will get that lesson, and you can use it in May if you don't have time this month. Basically what I do is we go over what you're looking to get done, and then I do a recap at the end, 10-minute video, and send it to you. So basically it'll be like 35 minutes a lesson, maybe 40 minutes, and a 5-minute recap at the end, and you get your 45 minutes. Yeah. So that's at vinceslessons.com, and I've been working on getting that going for a while now, so it's a pretty cool thing. I'm going to have actual lessons up there and a community for all my students and some other cool things. So if you want, go over there and sign up on the mailing list, which is on the contact page. Go to the contact page and send me an email, and I will get you on the list for future endeavors. Yeah. All right. That was a great at the Smithsonian. It was an incredible interview. Yes. Eddie was so humble and real. Yeah, very moving. So lucky you were there. Yeah, I know. Like, it was just one of those things where, like I said, my student had tickets. He's a huge Van Halen fan, and it wasn't open to the public. I think it was only available to Van Halen fans, and they have like a specific like fan page that's the actual Edward Van Halen. I think it's called the News Desk. I think that's the one. And he was on the list to get the tickets. He got 2 tickets. His friend bailed on him. Imagine that. His friend bailed on him, and then he called me. He's like, "Well, you're the only other one I know that would really appreciate this." And I was like, "Hell yeah." Of course I would appreciate it. So so that's how that went down. You know, I was fortunate that Mike thought of me. That was really cool. And then, you know, like I said, Eddie came out and hung out with everybody and signed. He didn't sign anything, that's right. One guy was really, like, trying to get him to sign stuff, but there was just too many people, and that wasn't really what it was about, you know, and we were just there and thankful that we were there. Let's see. I could hear the difference. I'm using earbuds. Yes, you could definitely hear the difference if you had earbuds in, for sure. Let's see. What does Doug say? I do Axe 3, FC12 in the studio, but live I have the Oh My God 9. I need the FM9. all my amps stay in the studio. You're absolutely right on the Fractal, especially for live. Yes. Like I've been using Axe FX stuff since it wasn't popular to use. I think 2010 was when I officially became a Fractal, you know, um, endorsee and part of the Fractal family. Um, I'm not on the page, but you know, they treat me like an endorsee. They're awesome over there. I'm also a beta tester, um, and it's just a great company. They're a small company, and they get it right on all levels. They get it right as far as quality, which is first and foremost, and equally first and foremost, they get it right with customer service. Like those guys are absolutely great. There's no way you would see, a guy from the Line 6, like CEO level, commenting and trying to help people in the, and I'm not just picking on Line 6. Anybody, any company. There's very few and far between owners of companies that put right down out on Facebook or any of these groups what they're doing, what they, suggest to people who are having trouble, and they help hand over fist with customer service is great. So they're really on top of it. One of the few brands out there that have exceptional customer service and quality stuff. Only other one I've ever seen do anything like that is Ola Stramberg and Stramberg Guitars. He's always commenting and helping people if they have an issue or questions about restringing. I mean, who does that? Not many at all. Yeah, Mark Day is great. Mark is the man. Mark is a OG over there, for sure. Mark is a good dude. Let's see. All right, so I think I'll do one more and call it a night. Again, I appreciate everybody who hangs out with me here, and it's awesome to have everybody here. I've been doing this 17 days straight, so if anybody wants to, let's see, is that? Okay, cool. If anybody wants to continue the hang, I will be here every night until April 30th. And then I don't know how I'm going to handle May. I mean, it's been going really well, and I'm going to miss everybody, honestly. But I don't know if I have the time to do lengthy hangs every day. I might do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing or something else. I got to figure it out. But I'm not going to totally disappear like I did in October. Sorry about that, but just stuff was really crazy. So, but here we are. We're hanging. It's all good. Let's see. Let's see something I could play with this guitar. I don't have any Van Halen backing tracks. I got to get on that. I got to relearn my Van Halen chops and get some backing tracks. Let's see. What can we do that's cool? What do I have here? Let's see. Something a little rockin' and heavy, since this guitar is, Edward's guitar, Edward Van Halen. Iron Maiden. Oh my God. You saw me almost have a wrist fall off yesterday doing Iron Maiden. Oh, I gotta get my chops back for those covers. Alright, let's see. What am I gonna do that's pretty kicking? Okay, I got something. We're gonna do this guy. Here it is. Alright, so before I do that, let's see, there's some chat going down. I like how you use the fractal. You don't need to overthink. Just get sound, man, and launch. Yeah, you know, it's seriously like that easy. Like I remember when I first started using the Axe Effects, and one of the first gigs I brought it to, and the guy wanted to mic it, and I was like, no, don't mic my amp. Like, here's a DI. He's like, oh, it's gonna sound like shit, man. You know, that's you don't know what you're doing. I'm like, settle down. I said, maybe you shouldn't accuse me of not knowing what I'm doing. I said, because you're going to find out that sounds really good, and not to be a jerk, but you don't know what you're doing. I said, plug it in. Give it a chance, and if you don't like it, you can come back and mic it if you want. I said, but I prefer we do it my way. Well, we plugged it in, and I hit an A chord. And his face dropped. He was like, what is going on in that box? He's like, what is the voodoo magic that you have in that box? And I was like, well, I don't know. Before, you accused me of not knowing what I was doing. But there's one place in particular that I love playing. It's called Debonair Music Hall in Teaneck. And the sound guy there, he was a disbeliever, but not with an attitude. And he plugged it in, and he came over to me after, you know, me just doing a few things, and he's like, man, I wish everybody that came in this place had one of these. He's like, we're done. Like, I don't need to EQ you or anything. I was like, yeah, this is the real deal. You know, I mean, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, the list goes on. My good friend, you know, Larry Mitchell, he actually turned me on to it. He came and did a guitar clinic at one of the schools where I teach. And, you know, he was at my house first, and we were hanging out. And he's dialing in sounds with this little Bose clip. You know those Bose clips that you wear, like, to jog or whatever? He had 2 of them in stereo on my coffee table. And I was like, good grief, this thing is, like, sick. So that was it. I wound up just going and getting it. And I don't miss my amps at all. I have some really good amps, and had some really good amps. I had Hughes and Kettner Triamp. I have Randall MTS modular tube system. I have some Egnator stuff that I used to have. Those are gone. Laney. I had a Marshall. It's just, don't need them. No point in having them sit there and collect dust. Wasted years. Oh, let me think of that. Oh, is that the one with the, That's it, yeah. Oh, I can't remember the chorus. I can't remember it, but yeah, that's close. that riff is awesome. And everything's easier with a V pick. They're just so cool. It's G, right? Yeah. I don't remember that part, but GC. That's cool. Wendy's like, what? Eddie seemed so recharged and so happy playing with his son Wolf. Yeah, Wolf was there. Alex was there. They were all hanging out with Eddie that day, which was really cool. Let's see. Let me back up here. The Sunday night All-Star Jam at Rivara's great times. Yes. George was the best, man. I know George, drummer George, forever. Like, forever. I used to go to my guitar teacher at the time, was this guy Ross Barada. And Ross played with George and played with, oh my God, why can't I think of his name? Ray, who passed away. He was the singer in Badlands. So I would see Ray all the time, George and Ross. And when I moved to California, here goes ending early. So I moved to California and I'm there 2 days and I meet these two girls and they're gorgeous. And I had super long hair. And we're walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and these two guys are walking toward us. And I'm like, oh, boy, here we go. They think all three of us are girls. So, because they're staring. So we're walking, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to put my arms around them like this. Maybe that'll throw off, like, I'm a dude kind of view. And so we're walking, and all of a sudden they pass me, and they're, like, staring right at me. And I'm like, these guys look kind of familiar, but how... I don't know anybody in Hollywood. I'm here like 2 days. And all of a sudden, it's, hey, Vince! I'm like, what? Somebody knows me? And it's George. It's George Pagonis and Mitch Gerber, who was a drummer in one of my first bands when I was in high school. And we wound up hanging out. We went to this place called the Spice Bar. Mitch was a photographer. And I know Doug is going to love this. So Mitch is a photographer, and we're going to this place called the Spice Bar because Mitch is going to take pictures. And it was an all-star jam with Nuno Betancourt, I think it was Mitch Perry from Heaven on guitar, the rhythm section from Ozzy, which had Randy Castillo, and who was the other guy? It was ridiculous. And that was the night that Nuno and Extreme came out and did Get the Funk Out before it was ever played on the radio. It was brand new. They just got done recording it. Nuno comes off stage. I'm standing at the bar waiting for the bartender to notice me. And Nuno comes over. And I was like, dude, that was Smoke. And he's like, oh, thanks. And he was really cool. And he goes... did you get a drink yet? I'm like, no. And he goes, okay. And the bartender comes over and he goes, what are you drinking? I said, I'll have I don't even remember what I had. And he paid for it. So that was really cool. So Nuno and I wound up hanging out that night talking. And CeCe DeVille was there, which is a whole nother story. Oh, my God. So CeCe DeVille, we'll save that for another night. But I'm on a roll, so CeCe's there, and he jammed, and he was ridiculous. I didn't know he was that good, right? So I paid him a compliment, and I said, dude, that was sick what you just did. I wish they would let you play more freely like that on the albums. And he got mad at me, and I had my hand out to shake his hand, and he, like, did that and pushed my hand away. He was pissed that I said that. I'm like, what? I'm giving you a compliment. I think you're great. I wish they would give you more freedom on the albums. And Mitch had a little bit too much to drink and started yelling at CeCe. Oh my God, it was a little embarrassing. But he volunteered me to do a guitar duel on stage against CeCe. He's like, you don't know who you're talking to. Vince is really good. Like, he's being nice and you won't shake his hand. I'm like, Mitch, just stop. So, yeah, it was pretty funny. I actually brought that up to Mitch once, and he's like, yeah, that sounds like the old Mitch. He's like, I try and forget that stuff. Oh man. So anyway, we're pushing 2 hours here. I will play one more as promised, and then we're done. I will go. I promise. No more talking. No more stories. Don't instigate any more stories or songs. I had a cover of that on my YouTube and took it down. Oh, bummer. All right, so Nuno called Joni beautiful and asked me if I could give her a kiss. Started crying. That's cool. Yeah, Nuno's a cool dude. I have a couple of other Nuno stories, but we won't do those tonight. All right, so real quick, we're going to do... Oh, where the hell did it go now? There it is. All right. Here it is. Last one for the evening. I'll shut the mic off. You'll get the good sound. had a rough start. I couldn't remember it. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for being here. Really appreciate everyone hanging out. And I'll catch you all tomorrow night. Be well.